What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another gaming session. And one of the worst things in the gaming industry to happen in 2023 was the just enormous amount of layoffs and people who lost their jobs. And while I'm not going to go do a deep dive, I may potentially do that in a future video. I really just wanted to kind of talk about this because I had kind of talked about it a little bit in the previous video about PlayStation essentially cutting jobs because certain games didn't meet their expectations in terms of sales. Final Fantasy 16 was one of those games for Square Enix that basically they got frustrated because the game didn't do what they thought it was going to do. And there's Insomniac Games and Rockstar, I think, will be fine. But there's a lot of Blizzard is another one. There's a lot of different gaming companies that essentially have fired a lot of people. And I think this is one of the saddest things to happen in 2023 because there essentially is no union for people in the gaming industry. This isn't like the situation that we had with the actors and writers' strike in Hollywood in terms of making movies and that. They're protected. When you decide to become an actor, you decide to become a writer, you have to sign up essentially for the union. And it's a good thing because then those people can get, pay increases. They can have a job. They do have celebrities speaking out for them. You have people like Conan O'Brien speaking out for them, who's also spoken in the past out for writers and actors. But for the gaming industry, you don't have that. You don't have celebrities coming out to essentially say we need to support our fellow game designers, we need to support our fellow programmers, our fellow video game artists, voice actors. I think that's part of it. I think you can actually be unionized. But overall, I think it's one of the most frustrating things that I've kind of come across. While we had a fantastic year for video games, and me and Rocky were going to do our top games of 2023 before the end of the year. Hopefully, if it's a little later, it'll probably be like the first week of January, but we are currently working on it, and we play a ton of games. We go through indie games, we go through the AAA published, AAA games. We go through the third party, first party, whatever it is. We play a lot of video games, and we happen to enjoy the indie games the most. And when I was looking at this article, because I was just curious myself, how many jobs actually were lost in the video game industry this year? Alright, so the article headline is, an estimated 9,000 employees in the video game industry have been laid off in 2023. And this is posted on December 11, 2023. I found some older ones that said 6,000 people. That it's still a lot no matter what. But 6,000 people in like an October article. But this one says an estimated 9,000 employees have been laid off in the video game industry in 2023. According to a website keeping track of layoffs called Video Game Layoffs. Let's actually just head over there real quick. Okay, so this is actually a graph that is very useful. But it says you can view a generalized breakdown of the original charts on the Airtable over the upcoming weeks, days. I'll be working on adding better looking and more accurate visualizations via Pandas, Matplotlib, and Seaborn as Airtable. Was not really doing a good job. I apologize for a more basic look. Okay, but let's take a look at some of these ones. So I'm guessing the line here is not it's a negative. I'm guessing minus 10 employees, minus 40, First Contact Entertainment, let's see, Phoenix Labs, minus 35, number of people affected, let's see, 1,000 at this. I have no clue what this place is. let's see, Humble Games. No, some of these clearly doesn't know quite yet, because a lot of this information is pretty hard to find. You have to do extensive research to figure out how many people actually have been laid off by these companies, because essentially they're not going to let you know. This is not good PR for like a company like Epic Games, who 830 employees were affected. This is, let's see here, layoffs at Epic. So this is just kind of an article talking about them. This is back in September. Earlier today, Tim Sweeney sent the following email to Epic employees. Hi, everyone. As we shared earlier, we are laying off around 16% of Epic employees. We're devastating. So this says, earlier today, Tim Sweeney sent the following email to Epic employees. Hi, everyone. As we shared earlier, we are laying off around 16% of Epic employees. Let's see. Fortnite is starting to grow again. So Fortnite has had a big 2023. So that sucks that the 16% of your freaking employees, and you have, I imagine they had a huge year. I can't imagine Fortnite was not extremely successful. So that right there, that one kind of sucks. Let's see, where else do we got? We got CD Projekt Red. 100 people. 100 people were affected by layoffs. Organizational update. I have some news to share. Those who are familiar with our strategy might. Cyberpunk was a complete disaster when it first launched. Anybody who played it, I played it on PC. I personally didn't have any issues when it launched. I don't know why, but a lot of people sadly were experiencing problems. They fixed it, obviously, now, especially with their Phantom Liberty DLC. It's fantastic. 9% of the the outcome is studios parting ways with around 100 people. So right here, 100 people, which is roughly 9% of the entire team. This will not be immediate, as some employees will be let go as late as Q1 2024. But in the spirit of transparency, we've chosen to share the information now. So these employees might not even be fired yet. They're just kind of waiting to be fired, which is even freaking worse, honestly. Unity, of course, lost 600 employees, where 600 employees were affected because of stupid decisions made by their stupid leader, who basically sit there and he's the idiot who basically said that that Call of Duty developers and Blizzard should charge for every freaking bullet, and they're stupid if they don't. So he's that jackass. But let's see, Amazon Game Studios, 100 employees were affected by Amazon Game Studios. Oh wow! So layoffs are there. I mean, it's a long list, and kudos to this person who put this together. I greatly appreciate it, because he's also including the articles to kind of take me to see, hey, no, this is legit. This is not just made up numbers that he's coming up with. 343 studios, 95 employees. Here's another Unity Technologies, so that's just another division of Unity itself. Twitch, 400 employees were affected. Electronic Arts, 775 employees affected. Restructuring, laying off 6% of the workforce. That's just freaking unbelievable. I'm definitely gonna keep this article here. This is definitely fantastic. But going back to the original one, Unity has had the most layoffs in 2023 with 1,165, followed by ByteDance at 1,000 and Embracer Group at 954. Epic Games has laid off 830 employees, and Amazon Games has laid off 715. Of the big three console makers, some studios at PlayStation and Xbox have been hit with layoffs. However, Nintendo hasn't laid anyone off. Nintendo winning, I guess. I mean, I don't hear anything bad, really, for the most part. Trust me, the copyright thing and how Nintendo kind of operates in terms of allowing like a YouTuber like myself, or my brother Rocky, or our brother Tim, or anybody, like, it's absolutely stupid. It sucks, but when you work at Nintendo, it seems like they take care of their employees, and they seem to kind of, yeah, I mean, you got a good, steady job, and you don't have to worry too much about getting laid off. Let's see. PlayStation studios hit with layoffs include Bungie, Media Molecule, PlayStation VASG, PlayStation San Diego, and Pixelopus. At the Xbox, the studios that have been hit with layoffs include Bethesda Games, the Coalition, and 343 Studios. Activision Blizzard, before it was acquired by Microsoft, also dealt with some layoffs. We know about Bobby. But while Embracer is a studio with the third most layoffs this year, they have been front and center as they have been laying off employees and closing studios for the past 6 months. This includes Time Splitters developer Free Radical Design. Time Splitters is one of my I didn't get into it as much as my friends, but I love Time Splitters. Fantastic first-person shooter. I always wanted a remake of that game. Probably never going to get it, so that kind of sucks. But Free Radical Design was shut down on Monday. So obviously the layoffs overall are absolutely terrible in the video game industry. I don't see it slowing down. And while we had the best year in gaming, one of the best years in gaming all time, in my personal opinion, I mean, we had just incredible game after incredible game come out this year. It sucks to see so many people getting laid off when you have so much success. But a lot of it is because of leadership. Terrible, terrible leadership that's never held accountable. And these people that wind up getting laid off and essentially, if they don't have a nest egg to fall back on, are left with nothing. But some of them do pick up and kind of start their own studios and create their own indie games. And those are the people that I absolutely, we at Gaming Sessions, we try to show as much support as possible for those people, because honestly, some of the best games of 2023 were indie games. And I personally can't express how much my condolences go out to all the families affected by these layoffs, the individuals who are fired, and a screw you to all the leaders who caused them to be laid off, because you apparently can't lead anything. This is actually something that I might get into maybe in a later video or something, or maybe not. But one of the issues that I've noticed quite a bit, especially nowadays, as a sports fan and as a video game fan, it's just leadership is something that is a dying talent, a dying idea, because you have such terrible, terrible leaders, that people that do not belong leading anything, like they literally should not be allowed to even lead themselves to putting on their own goddamn pants in the morning. That's how bad some of these people are. And we as gamers, a lot of gamers, I don't expect casual gamers or even most gamers to kind of, invest their time and energy into fighting for, the industry employees and their ability to sit there and stay employed. But it is something that I think when you decide what games that you're going to play this year or support, I think it is important to kind of bring this up. But I think it's very important to kind of say, hey, something like Bethesda and Starfield, the game not only sucks, but they laid off a lot of people as well, because of essentially egomaniac leading the charge, and Todd Howard, who believes everything that he touches or everything that he makes, well, it's a masterpiece. And if it's not a masterpiece, somebody in the modding community will fix it.
All of this just works. It's not, I'm not kidding.
I just kind of wanted to go over this a little bit, because I think this is this is probably one of the top news stories, I think, of 2023 in the gaming industry, is how many people have been laid off, and it's just sad to see. But definitely we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the layoffs in the gaming industry? Let us know in the comments down below. Also down below, you'll find the description where me and my brother Rocky's all the socials are located. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell, ding, for notifications so you don't miss out on videos like this from us in the future. And thank you so much for chilling with me. We'll see you all in the next gaming session.
I stay out of my head to the depths of the universe. It's a spell. just to open up a newer curse. If I swim too far, then my head goes under. If we take it as it is, then there ain't no wonder. It's hard to imagine that just one little